we had an argument about. You had these niggas in here arguing about Bloods versus frats, gangs versus
fraternities. The same thing. Blood is a fraternity. 100%. No difference.
You can't.
It's no difference. Only thing they did different is file legal papers that make them a fraternity. If somebody was to name Blood Alpha Phi Blood right now and file the papers, then Blood would be a fraternity, and we could start it anywhere, and they could put it in colleges and all that. Being Blood is not a crime. What you do, if you're doing criminal activity as being a Blood, makes it a crime. But that doesn't mean every Blood is a criminal. It doesn't mean every Blood needs to go to jail for the crime that one Blood did. So I know there's a lot of people in fraternities that broke hella laws and they are locked up right now. I know there's a lot of Q dogs who lock their ass up right now. You heard? You dig? But nobody talks about that. It's all the same thing.
Niggas say, ooh.
You heard?
Funny as shit.
It's all the same thing. Freemasons, fraternities, Bloods, Crips, Yetas, it's all the same thing.
I don't know. Let me ask you a question about that, though. Let me ask you a question about that. So if somebody said, what's the fundamental...
The benefits might not be the same.
There we go.
You heard? Fraternity has a different type of benefit. You sign to this fraternity, hopefully it'll help you out with your future successes and business endeavors. And this dude might work at this law firm. Now he gives you an automatic in. Now your intern there end up being, you dig? But it kind of works in the same way of that also, because you got people like me that have been helping out people legally and giving people different type of jobs and opportunities in their lifestyle. So what's the difference?
But let me ask you this though about... Oh, go ahead.
Is it a difference in majority versus minority?
As far as what?
And when I say that, you Blood, right?
Right.
If we took 100 Bloods,
right?
Give me a real one, yo. Not to win your argument, or not argument, a real one of people that are putting other people in position to be successful. Keep it a buck.
Out of 100 Bloods, how many? Yeah, the percentage might be low. It might be low.
So that's where the differentiation lies, because with the sorority example, or with the Mason example, or with the Congress senators, Imani brought up, the Congress and senators, they be running that shit like death row. But niggas won't know that. What we see from gang culture, and we all been around, all our friends, family, whatever, is down, but
you're trying to know. You nigga don't try to get me
get you affiliated.
They got everybody in here got family or friends that's affiliated, whether they knee deep or whether they just on the surface. So what I'm saying is the perception of it is where we get the disparity.
100%.
Because we don't see enough niggas.
You asked me a question, now you go into something different. You asked me if being Blood in a fraternity, do I feel is the same thing? And yes, I feel it's the same thing. I feel being a Blood is a fraternity. Now, there's big differences between being Alpha Phi Alpha and non-trade gangster. Exactly. Yes, there are big differences, but the premise of what it is the same thing, my brother.
So, fraternities is brotherhoods, right? And a gang is a brotherhood. I think the question for me is like, what's it organized around? So like when I'm in a fraternity and it was like, all right, we organized around black men achieving, right? And I got a lot of respect actually for gangs and shit they do, especially, historically. I guess my question is, what do Bloods organize around, or Crips organize around? Like, what's their goal? What's the reason for coming together? The
brotherhood is about lifting each other up. Like what we see in the public, we got a lot of ignorance when it comes to the gangbang, but the underline is about lifting each other up. That's what we believe in. Each one teach one and things like that. But you won't see that. The media only wants you to paint the ugly picture. But there's a lot of positive situations that goes on within the gang community. There's a lot of brothers that have been through a lot that always pour into their community to give back. There's a lot of gang prevention programs that gang leaders run themselves and things like that. Like, you know what I mean? But the word gang itself already puts a twist on it, or anything that happens to it. You dig? So it's like the positivity goes out the window as soon as somebody hears a gang, or as soon as somebody hears Blood, or someone hear Crip. When there's a lot of positive activity goes on within the gang community.
It is.
You heard?
Would you want your son to join?
Would I want my son to join?
Yeah.
No, I say that in my music. I wouldn't want him to join, but I wouldn't stop him from joining.
Why wouldn't you want him to though?
Because he came up different than I did.
Indeed.
Got you.
You heard?
Yeah.
He don't know what being in Harlem or being in the hood is. He don't know what it is to have to rely on that brotherhood, or come outside and need that brotherhood, or come outside or have to be a leader for that brotherhood. Like, he didn't have his back against the wall. He never had. And I hope he never have to go through that.
But is that a prerequisite for joining? Like, if I didn't,
it's not a prerequisite.
If I wasn't raised like that.
It's not a did you hear what I said? I don't want him to join, but I would not stop him from joining. His father is a Blood, and I'm a pretty positive, successful Blood member. You heard? Like, I've done a lot of things wrong, and I've done a lot of things right, like any of us in here have done. You heard? My brotherhood, I always try to lift up. I've never told somebody to do anything negative when they're around me. I don't need them for that. You know what I mean? Coming up, yeah,
it's on.
You heard? It's a lot. It's a lot of energy, but I got this thing you won't know till you grow, and I did a lot of growing. You understand? You did? So I'm able to turn the narrative and what people see, especially in my community. That's why I'm always there. I don't go to my community to shine on nobody or sun on nobody. What's the purpose in that? But I go there to be the beacon of light that I am for these kids and see that there's somebody that came out the same circumstances that they did that can figure out how to get out the matrix. You dig? I ain't perfect, but I'm a perfect example of what hard work, dedication, and a lot of prayer could do for you. I promise you that.
My pushback in that, because I don't know nothing about the frats.
Very well said.
Or too much about the gangs. But when you said Snoop, right, and I've been saying for a while, Snoop is probably the most marketable rapper in the world, and he's a gang member.
Right.
And he's definitely down with the commercialization of it.
Right.
I don't think y'all commercialize it the same, though. Right? Like, when I hear Snoop lyrics, to me, are different from your lyrics. Snoop, when he talked, is still the Magic Johnson smile. It's all of the marketable bullshit.
So is that now or was that then?
I was about to say, is Snoop still outside?
Y'all talking about when murder was the case and all that shit?
He's still outside. He's
right
still
now,
outside.
Snoop is the biggest
rapper.
He box office, yeah.
He is different when it comes to anything. He's on every commercial. Like, I need, who is his manager, agent? Please sign me. I need it right now.
He just said, yo, 93 million, I'm in the south of France.
Thank you for checking in with the channel. The beef between Jim Jones and Joe Budden is a notable example of hip-hop's ongoing tensions. It all started in the mid-2000s, primarily due to both artists' involvement in the rap scene, but things really heated up in 2018. The rift became public when Joe Budden criticized Jim Jones and the Diplomats, Dipset, on his podcast, The Joe Budden Podcast. Budden, known for his outspoken opinions, questioned the credibility of some of the Dipset members and their relevance in the industry. Jim Jones responded by calling Budden out in interviews, throwing jabs at him for being a has-been and criticizing his podcasting career. Things escalated further when Jones appeared on the radio show, The Breakfast Club, where he made it clear that he didn't appreciate Budden's remarks, calling him out for trying to diminish Dipset's impact. Budden, on the other hand, fired back on his podcast, mocking Jones and his crew for taking his opinions too seriously. Their back and forth wasn't just about music, it was personal. While some saw it as an entertaining feud, others felt it was fueled by jealousy and personal insecurities. Despite the tension, there wasn't any direct physical altercation, but the beef carried on for a while, with both artists using their platforms to take shots at each other. Please consider subscribing, leave a comment and like this video. See you in the next video.